When researching these historic facts of hidden racism, there are times when racial imagery with an awful background runs headfirst into a property that might have gotten caught in the crosshairs, either intentionally or unintentionally. In these cases, what the story is may be influenced by the other, but here's the story of how the picanniny racial imagery destroyed a chain restaurant. Hey everybody, it's Sean Roselle back with another video. And if you like these type of videos, do me a favor, just go ahead and hit that subscribe button and also hit that notification bell for further updates that I bring onto the channel. In 1899, Helen Banneman wrote the story of Little Black Sambo, a story about a black South Indian boy with his parents Black Jumbo and Black Mumbo and his tigers and their adventures together. Well, sort of. The story itself is a bit weird and eventually culminates to butter and pancakes. Even though Sambo is depicted in the story as South Indian, the imagery of Sambo was set up for failure from its inception, starting with the name itself. So let's go back even further. Sambo, or Zambo, originally was a term to describe mixed-race people, similar to mulatto. The name lingered until a character in Uncle Tom's Cabin named Sambo makes an appearance. Since then, the name was associated as a racial slur. Now this could be a case of Banneman not quite understanding what the word meant to American audiences. However, the ill-fated naming of the character would be the downfall, and then she would be the first casualty. So because of this, the image of Sambo as a racial slur and Sambo the Tamil child blended, so now we have an image of a black South Indian child with a name that is considered a racial slur. In 1932, Langston Hughes once said, "It's amusing, undoubtedly, to the white child, but like an unkind word to one who has known too many hurts to enjoy the additional pain of being laughed at." And soon, Little Black Sambo found himself disappearing slowly from the bookshelves, but not completely.
Remember when the quarter went a long way? These days, it doesn't even go a short way.
Dad, haven't you heard of inflation?
Here you go, sport. You must need this more than I do.
At Sambo's, a quarter still goes a long way. Every time an adult has dinner at Sambo's, a little adult also gets a meal. The Sam Burger Jr., a delicious double burger for just 25 cents.
Hey, Dad, I'll pay my own way tonight.
Sambo's, we're bringing down the high price of bringing up your kids.
In 1957, Sam Battlestone and Newell Bonnet started a restaurant. They combined their names together and the restaurant, Sambo's, was open for business. Sam and Newell understood the namesake that was shared, so they used the image of Sambo throughout the restaurant, so it was common to see a black kid in a turban playing with tigers on the walls. By 1970s, they were pressured into changing their name completely, so they changed it to the Jolly Tiger, but only briefly when they reverted back to the name to Sambo's. The chain fell into bankruptcy in 1981 and would soon find itself selling their properties to Denny's. One lone Sambo's left standing in Santa Barbara was the last one left, until May of 2020 during the protests of the death of George Floyd. In the awakening of the normalization of racism, in June 2020, Sambo's formally closed and rebranded itself as Chad's.
Barbara restaurant is changing. The current name was viewed as offensive. News Channel reporter John Palmentieri says the owner wants to promote peace and unity.
Even though it didn't come from a bad place, it's still a very hurtful term for a lot of people.
The name Sambo's on this restaurant, as we've known it since 1957, is going away on the Santa Barbara waterfront after bad business decisions and the interpretation of the name to be racist.
I understand that it wasn't intentional, right? I'm not saying that Sambo's and the owners were racist. I was saying that the slur is racist.
It was his name and partner's name, Sam and Bo. Something I respect and continue through, but I understand there's some hurt in that, and we will move forward.
The word Sambo has often gone through this entire history, and first being a racial slur that has affected both a children's book as well as a restaurant. Even though that they both were unaware of the hateful history of the word, it became one of the most destructive things when it came to building an empire and building a career, building a book, building a restaurant, that sort of thing. Thanks for watching this video. If you like it, give me a like. Get a subscribe, hit that notification bell for further updates, and I also have a Patreon link in the description below. And enjoy your Thanksgiving.